Very good morning to all. Am I audible? Hello. Enrollment number 5 and 13.
Yes, sir.
So we'll start our lab. So I think in the last lab we discussed about the basic of the MATLAB. Today we discuss how you can generate any different kind of wave using the MATLAB. So I'm just sharing the screen of the MATLAB. Getting the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we discuss how you can generate the different waveforms starting with a sine wave, cos wave, triangle shape, rectangle shape, sawtooth waveform, square wave. Okay, so these are the common shape which will be utilized for the day-to-day life. So starting with the first one, you can also go with a command window, or you can also start with any new file. So you can start with any new script, so it will be generate some kind of a M file, like it is almost similar to the C language, like you are give the extension is .c. In this case you have to give the extension is .m file. So considering the starting with, suppose if I taking the any limit for x is equal to like if you see, suppose I'm interested to generate the sine wave, so already you are knowing the it will be start with a 0 and go up to the 2 pi. So you can also start with a 0 up to the 2 pi and you can plot it. So see what's happened with an interval of, so these are the range which we are interested. So you can see right now this is the M, not a display the results. I'm just give the output. So you can find out the x which is generated the one row and the 2629 column. It means starting with 0 up to the 2 pi there is the generation of the 0.01. This is the interval. So starting with the 0, 0.01, 0.02 up to the 2 pi, they are find out the value. Same case if I mention the value of like consider the y is equal to, so as you can directly plot this. So all of you are getting the some graph on your screen. So if you visualize this one, it will be display one figure by using the plot command, and you can find out there is a one sine wave which is generated. Okay, same case if I plot this command using the subplot, which have a 2 comma 2 comma 1. So you can identify this figure which is a subplot. Okay, so initially we are using the plot command and it will display one sine wave in the full screen, but we are interested like this is the sine wave and this is the cos wave, so it's look like a one graph will be generated in a first location, 2 cross 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they have generated the some figure at a first location. Now if I plot it, so you can verify the graph is plotted. Clear? Same case if I plot the subplot 2 comma 2 and plot x comma cos x. So, or if you are getting the sine and cosine wave on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. So you can identify using this subplot and plot command. I can identify with a two different layout where using the without the subplot command you can plot the sine wave in a full screen mode. But if I want to see the both the waveform simultaneously, then you can go with a subplot command. So remember, whenever you are generating the subplot, first you have to generate the graph, and after the subplot you have to plot it. If I doing the reverse thing, first you plot, and if you are utilize the subplot command, then definitely you are not getting the any graph in this respective file. Okay. Instead of this one, suppose if I am considering the subplot 2 to 3, so you can see right now at a third position nothing is plotted over here. So see, this is the third position, nothing is plotted. Okay, now if I plot something I can just, so you can identify this graph which is in terms of the stream. Okay, you can similarly you can take this value in terms of stream is basically they are just taking the one samples at a regular interval and they are just plot it over here. In same case we can also plot it with a cos wave. So you can either go with a stream as well as the plot command, both are the fine. So this is the way to generate the sine as well as the cosine wave. Second part is we are interested, suppose I am interested to generate some kind of a square wave. So what we are doing, for the square wave you have a two values, one is 1 and second is 0. Now we are preferring the 1 and 0, but you can also consider minus 2 to 2. Okay, so for that you can consider how exactly you can plot this value. So you can write down the a is equal to zeros, which may be 1 to 100. So zeros means it will be generate the one row and the 10 column whichever value is 0. So you can see, so in a workspace you can identify at a array A there is a 10 different column which have a one row, and each and every value it is nothing but a 0. And similar you can plot the b is equal to ones. Okay. So what they are doing, they are just considering the 1 zeros and ones at a 10 different values, 10 different elements. And if I'm considering the c is equal to like a comma b comma, so it will be generate the answer. Now if you just plot it, before we going to the plot, you can go with a subplot command. So subplot 2 comma 2 comma 4, and now you can plot. So you can identify this graph, or if you're getting the square wave on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, it's very easy to generate it. What we are doing, uh, we are prefer the two amplitude level. One is 0 and second is the 1. But it may be possible like you can consider as a 2 to minus 2. So what you have to do, you have to just multiply this a and b with a minus 2 and 2, whatever the value you have to plot it. Right now what we are doing, there is only two level amplitude, 0 to 1. Okay, but you can consider also the three level, like a three level, 0, maybe 1, and maybe another value is the 3. So you can plot the according to the position of the a, b, or the another third level, consider as a c. So I can plot this value. Okay. So any doubt for this case? Three different waveform. Same case, suppose if I'm interested to plot it uh, some kind of a triangle shape. So what we are doing, consider the p is equal to starting value is 0 going up to the 5. So it will be generate the range between 0 to 5. So you can see in a workspace the p is equal to 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, whichever interval is 1. If I'm not considering the any interval, by default they are taking as a 1. Okay, normally if you see in a x, like what is the difference between these two? If I put x is equal to 0 to 2 pi, then by default they are taking the interval with a 1. Okay, and if I specify the interval, then definitely will be going with a interval, addition of this interval. So first we are taking the any p, which may be a 0 to pi. Now we have to plot the reverse one. So for that you can consider the q is equal to 6 minus 2. So they are started with a 6, and and they are just degrade the value 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 up to the 1. So you can see the workspace value. Okay, there is some mismatch. In this case it is a colon. Now see, just see the p and q, it's a reverse plotting, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now if I plot this value, consider p, q, and r is equal to like p comma q comma p comma q comma p comma q. Bracket is complete. So it will generate the r values which have a 36, and if we plot it, before we plotting, just go with a subplot. So I'm using the subplot 2 to 3 instead of this 4, and if I plot it, so getting the triangle waveform on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we are doing in terms of the triangle waveform, we are taking the two variables which may be starting with 0, go up to the 5, or you can take any value. Right now it's only 3, but you can take at least 5 or 6 samples of the triangle wave. And second, the variable which is started with a reverse manner and going up to the same values. Okay, so we are just degraded and we are just try to plot. So whenever you are plotting, they are just join the line between p and q. So you can also identify over here. So it will be look like a triangle shape. Okay, so it's very easy to generate this sawtooth waveform, triangle waveform, square waveform, rectangular waveform. Okay, but for the square you maybe also identify the direct command. Okay, in this case the limitation is, if you see the triangle wave square waveform, the on part as well as the off part, all of you are getting the on part and off part on your screen. Which one is the on part? This one. if you see the square waveform starting with a 0 to 10, this is our value is 0, so it's a basically off. But whenever if I'm moving from 10 to 20, this is called at the 1. Okay, from 20 to 30 its value is 0. So this is 10 to 20 is basically on, and this is the off signal. So based on this we are try to find out the duty cycle. Duty cycle is basically your on time divided by the total time. Okay, so in this case I can minimize the value. Right now both are almost similar, like 50-50 percentage. 0 to 10 and the 10 to 20 on time and off time are similar, but you can also change the duty cycle using the direct command which is available in the MATLAB. Okay, so is there any doubt for this case? 12, number 12. Number 12. 6. Number 2. 7. 5.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Okay, so what you have to do, uh, you have to generate the sine wave. All of you just write down sine wave, cosine wave, triangle shape, square wave, rectangular, and the sawtooth waveform, approximately 6. Approximately 6 different waveform. Okay, but in this case if you see this sine wave, I am plotting only single samples. But what you have to do, you have to plot at least the 5 samples of the sine wave. Am I clear? 5 and 13.
Yeah, sir.
Okay,
Sine, cos અને બીજી કઈ કીધી?
see this is already done, like a sine and cosine is already done. But if you see the sine and cos wave, it's only the single waveform, single samples. But your task is you have to plot at least the 5 or the 10 samples in a one figure. One 5 different samples of the sine wave you have to plot it. Similar for the cos wave. Okay, similar for the triangle shape as well as the square wave. Instead of this, you can plot it at least the 5 samples for the triangle, and this way it's very easy, but you have to just see how exactly you can plot it with the sine and cos. Okay, second task is instead of this plot command, you have to generate the second figure, which is nothing but a all the 6 different waveform, and using the steam command. Using the steam command you have to plot it. So instead of the plot, you have to just use the steam command. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, for the simplicity, what you have to do, like your enrollment number is 5, then you have to plot the 5 samples of the sine wave. If your enrollment number is 13, then you have to plot the 13 samples. If your enrollment number is 12, you have to plot the 12 samples. Clear? And if your enrollment number is 2, then you have to plot the 2 samples sine wave as well as the cos wave. Hope so this part is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can tell me. Otherwise, you can continue with your work. I will be here. And if you have any query, you just send me a chat message. Okay. And this is your final file. Like if your enrollment number is 7, definitely I'm asking the 7 samples from your side. Okay. If your enrollment number is 12, you must have to plot the 12 samples. So whenever the physical class is going on, you have to submit this file. So that's why just focus on this one and try to plot it using the MATLAB or the Scilab, whatever you want. Those who are not
Hello,
given the
sir.
answer, yes.
Sir, can you provide the MATLAB link?
What?
MATLAB link, sir.
Dear, MATLAB is the license version. And if you are
Sir,
interested, you can go with a MATLAB software and go to the academic license. I think you may be getting the 30-day trials. So freely you can available. You can utilize this software for 30 days. So it's sufficient.
okay.
Clear? So those who don't have any MATLAB, you can go with MATLAB software website and you can see the academic license. You may be getting the freely software is also available for the only from specific commands. Okay, some basic it's maybe already done. So you can start with this particular MATLAB software because you cannot share this file. It's a license version. So continue with your work. I'll be asking the waveform in a next level for each and every students. Hello. Hello. So you may continue with your work. I'll be already taken your attendance, so you may leave from this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.